يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون What do? Woo! Josh! That's so. You know, and they know. And I don't need to let you know before you know.
It's M. Josh on the beat.
When Guru never show, they say hand on show. Say that a man, the Lagos, country getting plenty doctors. Money come fly, doctor come cure. When Guru come show, hospital close. Everybody running, church shuts down. Professional doctors, that goes smooth. We get on show for the big man house. Hospital nadado, facilities nadado, education nadado. Power supply na zero. Now Guru don't show for area. News headlines don't talk. Searching for staff don't carry. Say governors don't carry. Say ministers don't carry. Say senators don't carry. If you like president, you don't carry. But rich and poor suffer this thing. Hospital they no get. Facilities they no get. 9.1 billion for pocket. Professional doctors in that goes to London hospital close for guys. When Guru never show, stay hand on show. Say that a man in the Lagos country getting plenty doctors. Money come fly, doctor come cure. Just welcome to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom. Animal City. Animal City. I will come to Animal Country. Oh, Animal Country. Zoological Kingdom. Zoological Kingdom. Welcome to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom. Animal City. Oh, Animal City. Welcome to Animal Country. Oh, Animal Country. Welcome to Zoological Kingdom. Zoological Kingdom. Yeah. Headache, worry, rich man go to America. But now we matter don't serious America love. Yeah, youth hospitals them say no. Train doctors them say no. Build a school them say no. Give us lights them say no. Security na zero. If poor man sick he go die here. Poor man no get him out. Poor man no fit talk. Poor man life na nonsense. Animal Animals everywhere. Animals get value. Get value pass human being. Them send animals to carry on. Animals shoot people. Animals kill people. Animals murder people. No value for human being. When Guru never show, they say he don't show. Say that. Lagos, country getting plenty doctors. Money come fly, doctor come cure. When Guru come show, hospital everybody run church. Professional doctors, that goes to they don't show. Human house. Welcome to Animal Kingdom.
Still, IPOB Radio Biafra Asia desk, coming to you from the IPOB family in Asia.
Animal Kingdom. Animal City. Animal City. I welcome to Animal Country.
Thank you for joining me on this short program to look at the events that happened in OBIGBO in the year 2020 during the end SARS period, when the people of Nigeria, the Nigerian youth, when they became overwhelmed with the atrocities and extrajudicial killings by the Nigerian security operatives, especially the SARS, the people that have been killing people, torturing people, and collecting their money, and a lot of atrocities that were said to have been committed by these Nigerian security agents. So the problem with Nigeria is that when atrocities like this are committed, no one is ever held responsible for all these things. Just for instance, the people of Biafra were killed in millions. More than 5 million Biafrans were killed in 1967 to 1970 during that war of genocide, whereby the British government was responsible for executing air, land, and sea blockade on Biafra. And at the end, our people were massacred. And after the genocide, till today, none of the perpetrators have been held accountable. Instead, almost all of them are benefiting from the booties of that genocide. T.Y. Danjuma, Gowon, all of them, those that were involved in that genocide, they are walking free. Some of them are leading national prayers to protect one Nigeria after committing genocide, after killing a lot of people. So in the year 2020, another event happened during the NSAS, and the Rivers State Governor, Yesomike, declared war on the people, and a lot of our people were abducted from their sleep. Many homes were destroyed. Many youths are still languishing in jail right now without any due process of law, without respect to their fundamental rights. So Nigeria is a lawless society. So 1 year after what has happened, what is the fate of these our people that were killed? What is the fate of our women that were secretly detained for months, undergoing torture, and other inhumane treatments. The people that were killed in OBIGBO during that period outnumbered those that were killed in Lekki Toll Gate. But those that were killed in Lekki Toll Gate become known internationally, but due to our own, the people of Biafra, everything about our people is being sidelined. Our people were killed in numbers, and it goes unreported, and nobody is speaking for our people. So I want us to look at the report, because there was a report by Chief Emeka Umabalasi, the man in charge of the International Society for Human Rights and the Rule of Law. He made a very wonderful report concerning the OBIGBO massacre. So I would like to play the video. Then after playing the video, then we will have to look at the press statement, press release that was released by the indigenous people of Biafra. Maybe we should look at the press release first before we look at what happens in OBIGBO. Because if you look at the situation of things today, we see that our leader was brought to court, and after bringing him to court, it was just to douse the tension and to see if our people will go and vote, because all they are concerned about is vote. They don't even care about our people. They don't care about the plight of the indigenous people of Biafra, who have been illegally jailed, who have been illegally incarcerated by the Nigerian state, even though the Nigerian courts have always given orders for the people of Biafra to be released. But the Nigerian state will continue to hold our people against the law of the land. So these are the things that has been propelling this agitation for self-determination. How can people be telling you that Nigeria's unity is not negotiable? Still, they cannot implement policies that will bring the people together. And when people are agitating, they will roll out the tanks to kill. Okay, look at what is happening. Even the United Arab Emirates has already published names of Boko Haram sponsors, those who are in the Nigerian government sponsoring the terrorism that is ongoing. But due to the Nigerian state's pampas terrorists, they have refused to make those people public. They have refused to act on those people that are known to be sponsoring terrorism. Now they are blaming Nnamdi Kanu. They are blaming Sunday Igboho. That is how Nigeria do. They will kill you and they will blame you, and they would like to concoct stories to rope you into their mess. So these are the things that we are facing. That is the reason why we ask to be free. We don't want to be part of a society whereby your rights are not guaranteed. We don't want to be in a society whereby one ethnic nationality is elevated over the others. It shouldn't be like that. Because when you come to Nigeria today, you see the level of nepotism has overflown, has overwhelmed everybody. Because you see that the Fulanis has been strategically placed all over the places. So whatever decision that will be taken must come from the Fulanis, because they are at the helm of affairs. But in reality, these Fulanis are invaders. They are foreigners. They do not belong to that geographical region called Nigeria. There is no land wherever in Nigeria called Fulani land. So why are they occupying our land? Why are they holding our destiny? Because they are holding our destiny in the sense that they have introduced the quota system, whereby before someone from Abia State will enter into Nigeria Unity School, you will be required to score 139, whereas some other people from the area that is occupied by the Fulani, they are required to score 2, 4. And at the end, they become members of the Nigerian parliament. They became senators. They become the lawmakers, whereby they have the exclusive legislative list of power. This exclusive legislative list of power was specifically introduced in order to stifle development in our land. That is to say that we, you and I, from the East, we cannot contribute money together as individuals to go and build a seaport whereby we can import our goods and go to Port Harcourt or Nepal to bring it into Aba or Onisha. So it is a deliberate government policy to see that we are not seeing progress. So these are the things, government policy that is directed and targeted at our people. So we shouldn't be part of them. We should allow them to be on their own, whereas we on our own will be on our own nation. Because we were not Nigerians before the white men came. Why can't we go back to the way we were before the white men came? So these are the challenges that we all have to stand up together and fight to be free, because what we are facing in Nigeria is a perpetual enslavement. If we do not do something today, we will live to regret it tomorrow. That is the reason why we are shouting. That is the reason why the indigenous people of Biafra all over the world, we are not sleeping. We are awake all over all the night, making sure that our land is freed from these invaders. We can recall when the Nigerian president went to the United States and he told the United States president that these killers, these terrorists that are killing people in Nigeria, that they are not Nigerians, that they are from the Sahel. And today, the Nigerian state is making policies to accommodate these people, these terrorists in our ancestral lands. And we say no to that. We say no to that. So this is the press release that IPOB has released, because after the appearance of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the Federal High Court, the Attorney General of Nigeria gave a press conference. And in that press conference, he made a lot of unsubstantiated statements that doesn't corroborate with the truth. So let me read the press release first so that we can. This press release was issued on the 22nd day of October 2021. It says, Malami is displaying his ignorance of law by spewing spurious allegations against our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB have said. The attention of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, under the leadership of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been drawn to the disgraceful press conference held today by Nigeria's Attorney General Abubakar Malami and the trash he spewed out against our leader. We note with great dismay the kind of incoherent and untenable allegations coming from a supposedly Attorney General and Minister of Justice of Nigeria. What a disgrace. Why not wait for us at the law court instead of resorting to media trial? That shows he has no case to prove against IPOB. This latest show of shame by Malami also shows the level of his ignorance and cluelessness on office he occupies. To put the record straight, IPOB remains a peaceful movement and was never involved in such barbarities Malami was linking IPOB with. Instead of killing security agents, IPOB members have been the victims of the extrajudicial killings by the wicked Nigeria security operatives, as no fewer than 20,000 of our members have been murdered in cold blood by the Nigerian security agencies. It is not controvertible that innocent IPOB members and Biafran youths have been wasted at different times by the Nigerian security agencies. This genocide against IPOB is still ongoing, yet they want to suddenly change the narrative. We have always said it that the unknown gunmen were a creation of the Nigerian security agencies to implicate and demonize IPOB. We have no hand in the killings in parts of Biafra land. The federal government, which is sponsoring the killings, is desperately looking for excuses to implicate IPOB and nail our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who they rendition from Kenya. Our leader is innocent of all the concocted allegations and lies vomited by Malami against him. It is clear to all and sundry that IPOB was not involved in the NSAS protests. Nigerian youths who were fed up with the evil in Nigeria vented their anger during the NSAS protests, which took place simultaneously in different parts of the country. IPOB could not have been the ones behind the protest, which was a spontaneous reaction of dissatisfaction youths against the maladministration in the country. Since the formation of ESN operatives by our great leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the outfit never launched any attack against the Nigerian security operatives. Rather, the Nigerian security agents are the ones hunting for ESN operatives. ESN is only after murderous herdsmen, bandits, and jihadists wreaking havoc across Biafra land, which the hypocritical security agents could not stop. Nigeria has an incompetent attorney general because this attorney general does not know that extraordinary rendition is an international crime, and anybody or country that flouts this law has committed an international crime. It is very pitiable that this man who claims to be Attorney General and Minister of Justice in Nigeria cannot differentiate between crime and agitation. ESN and IPOB have come to stay, and nothing will stop us. The world knows that IPOB is not a terrorist organization, and Malami cannot succeed in making them change their mind. Malami should stop wasting his time and just fix a date for Biafra referendum where our people can decide which country they want to stay. Failure to do so is to their own peril. All destruction in our territory was politically motivated and carried out by security agents recruited and nicknamed unknown gunmen. We know the so-called unknown gunmen are DSS personnel, army and police personnel set up to implicate IPOB and ESN. IPOB, ESN have no hands in the killings in Biafra land. Those behind the barbarity are still pointing accusing fingers at IPOB and ESN, all at the same time. What a hypocrisy. Signed, Comrade Emma Powerful, IPOB Media and Publicity Secretary. Yes, IPOB have no hand in the carnage going on in Nigeria, because the Nigerian state, they thrive on violence and insecurity to advance the cause of the Fulanese. So, in as much as since 2015, IPOB has been agitating, there has never been any court of law that convicted any member of IPOB in any crime, because we are a peaceful people and we are a disciplined movement. We don't believe in crime. We don't believe in killing people. We don't believe in shedding blood. What we believe in is in self-determination. What we believe in is we want to control our destiny. We want to rebuild our land from the scratch because our land has been left in ruins. So this is the objective of IPOB. IPOB do not have any objective for violence or killing. So when you see all these people being killed in our land, it is government-sponsored unknown gunmen. They are doing it for a purpose. They want to create a chaos in our land, create insecurity, artificial insecurity, to enable them to have their way, installing whoever they want to install in all the states in our land. So this is the situation of things and the way IPOB have clarified this for record purpose, because we know that the Nigerian state, they will always do everything to make sure that they roping IPOB into their mess. But we know our focus and we know where we are going. So yesterday, our head of Directorate of State was on air. He spoke and he made some, I want to read it out. The extract from what our head of Directorate says on the broadcast. So it is very clear that even the trial, the purported trial that the Nigerian state is carrying out today, it is illegal, because you cannot rendition our leader through an illegal means, and you want to bring him to justice. So these are the injustices that we are facing in Nigeria. Those people that are killing people are walking freely. The bandits, these are terrorists that have been ravaging the land, killing people. Even yesterday, they killed a lot of people, but the government is not declaring war on them. The government is not shooting aside on them. But in our own land, our peaceful people that do not commit any crime, the government will roll out tanks to kill and incarcerate them. So I want to play this OBIGBO report so that we'll be able to understand the level of atrocity that has been committed against our people. And till today, nobody has been prosecuted for this. Nobody. So I want to play this so that we will see.
Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, everyone. I am MAZI. Okay, welcome to Njenje Media TV. Now we are live on our various social media handle. This afternoon, we will be looking at the OBIGBO issue that has been happening for a very long time. But today we have a man who has been in the epic center of the activities that has been happening in OBIGBO. I have with me here this evening Mr. or say Chief Emeka Umabalasi, who is the board chairman, International Society for Civil Liberty and Rule of Law. Emeka is based in Onitsha and has been in the heart of many things happening in terms of trying to find out the real thing happening at the ground zero. I have the pleasure to bring Emeka Umar Balasi here. Emeka, if you can kindly unmute yourself, and we welcome you to this evening conversation. My brother, you're welcome.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, all listeners. Thank you very much.
Okay, so having Emeka here, Emeka, you recently released a report where you said that the number of defenseless OBIGBO residents were abducted and that they disappeared for 4 months. And these abductions happened by the Nigerian army. And you raised an alarm that between 550 to 600 individuals were taken from OBIGBO. Now, and since the incident of OBIGBO, there has never been anyone who has been in a position to tell us what actually happened in OBIGBO. May we have that clarity from you, Emeka?
Thank you very much. You are absolutely correct. The OBIGBO incident was very, very tragic. It happened around October 2020, when the Nigerian army said that it was moving into OBIGBO to fish out criminal citizens following the countrywide NSAS protests that led to killing of hundreds of citizens, including dozens of policemen and soldiers. It was in the same NSAS protest that later turned into violence, that not less than 320 defenseless citizens were killed across the country, with Lagos recording more than 70, and so on and so forth. So OBIGBO was inclusive in the protest. But the governor of the state, Nyesom Wike, for reasons best known to him, took the matter personal and went to the extent of inciting the residents of OBIGBO against the Nigerian security agencies, particularly the Nigerian army. And along the line, he imposed a curfew and invited the army, and the army in their usual manner, not knowing to Nigerians, most Nigerians went into a world grade invasion of OBIGBO. And it was during that invasion that dozens were killed, dozens wounded, and hundreds abducted. So we came in and explained the situation and issued a statement projecting that over 400 from various information gathered, both what we call open source and closed source information that we have verified and found credible. And based on those such pieces of information, we were able to project that 400 residents or defenseless residents of OBIGBO or more, must have been abducted by Nigerian army and taken to secret detention or dungeons in northern Nigeria. And that is the situation today. As we speak, we have been able to trace not only intersociety in conjunction with other groups, including and individuals, including Barrister Richard Korafa, have been able to trace or establish that not less than they have been able to trace 419 names. So you can now see that we are correct after all. So a few days ago, we did a review, because in social science investigation or research, it is allowed.
Sorry, may I interject here? 419 names of
the abductees, the people abducted from OBIGBO. 419 names as we speak have been traced. And out of these 419 names, 208 have been freed. You understand? Remaining 211. Yes. I just got information now that 30 of the 53 OBIGBO women among them, young women among them, have just been freed That is information I got about a minute ago. And the effort has been made to free, I think that should be 33 others because they were 53 in number located. So that is the situation. So we did a review, and we reviewed this thing upwards, and they place it within the confines of 550 and possibly 600 names in total at the end of the day. This is because unknown to us, more people were being located. And just last week, Friday, the Nigerian police, for the first time, nobody knew that they were holding some people. Although I understand that those abductees must have been transferred to them belatedly by the Nigerian army. So they brought out 22 fresh names, fresh persons, and they arraigned them, and they were granted bail. Now, again, the DSS, I think on Monday this week, brought out the 53 women because, before now we have exposed the DSS and accused them of holding 53 young OBIGBO women, who were abducted from OBIGBO. So just like this week, Monday, they brought them out and arraigned them. They brought them out shackled and arraigned them in court, and they were granted bail. Then on the process again, it was discovered that there were 26 other names that nobody is aware of that, are still being detained or held by DSS, making the total, I think 26 plus 53 is, how many? Is 79, if I'm not mistaken. And among those 79, 53 are women, 26 are men. So that is the situation. As if that is not enough, another discovery was made in faraway Suleja stroke Bida Aziz in Niger State of the captivity of 100 and the fresh names totaling 110. Those ones are still there. They were abducted.
And these are related to OBIGBO.
OBIGBO. All these people are OBIGBO abductees. We got, it's a too high wired information, contacts and what have you. For instance, in that, the latest, the one I'm telling you now, we got to know of it through one guy who is 23 years, who went missing on 28th October at Imo River. So the guy happens to be a conductor. So the family gave us information, located Inter-Society, and gave Inter-Society information. Evis Ngozi Chibo is the name. And they told us how the guy went missing, how the guy was abducted. He was abducted alongside others while they were heading to Port Harcourt in a commercial vehicle where he was serving as a conductor. So from there to 144 Battalion, Asa, from there to Bori Camping, that is 6th Division in Port Harcourt, from there no more. He disappeared alongside others, and the family took the courage, and they went to the extent of contacting an army officer who, helped them, assisted them. And lately, the army officer informed them that, of course, he's an army officer of Northern Extraction. So he was there. He was one of those guiding them when they were brought to 6th Division. So he told them that he has succeeded in locating the guy to an army base. That's how he put it. To an army base located between Kuje and the Niger. Kuje and Niger State. That's how he put it. So, and then, then I relayed information to Barrister and then others who are assisting, and behold, it was discovered that the same guy we are talking about, alongside 109 others, are presently held captive in an army base, that is Nigerian Army Commando base, located between Suleja and Bida in Niger State. And of course, I'm sure you know that Niger State has the largest landmass in Nigeria. The landmass of Niger State is a kind of almost roughly 3 times that of the entire Southeast put together, 3 times the landmass of Southeast. So you can imagine that is where 110 of our people, of our defenseless residents of OBIGBO have been held captive for more than 4 months. So that is the summary of the situation.
Now, to make sense out of the narration that you've given, you know, in essence, we have a space where something happened in Rivers State, and these people were arrested in Rivers. No crime known. You know, like you said, that conductor, they were on their way somewhere in a van, and he got abducted, taken to Niger State. When in Niger State, they were kept in army detention, not even the police, right? They were kept in army detention. Okay.
Abducted by army and held captive by army.
Okay. And were there, you know, were there documentations, were there efforts, were those people allowed to contact their families?
That is exactly the point. You know, when we use the word, you know, any reasonable and well-grounded human rights crusader or activist must first of all have legal knowledge of the situation on the ground. When we say abduction, it now boils down to the question you just asked. Abduction by who? By Nigerian army. Under the existing laws of the country, Nigerian army lacks power to arrest, detain, investigate, and prosecute citizens or civilians who are not subject to the Armed Forces Act of 2004. The Federal High Court recently gave a validation to that effect in a landmark ruling that took place sometime in last month in February. So that's the word. And another aspect of it is that we have just captured it. Thank you very much for that, your wonderful observation. You cannot, when you abduct, when you said you are arresting somebody, and let me use the word, or not conceding to that fact, let me use the word arrest in quote. You arrest somebody, you excommunicate the person for his family, you do not, you fail to allow the person access to his family, to his physicians, to his lawyers, to anything that has to do with his family and the beloved ones. You did not, you know, put the arrest, the arrest in quote, to public knowledge. Nowhere was that a so-called arrest reported or recorded officially, or through a public statement, or through official record of Nigerian army. So, and again, you move the persons you arrested in the dead of the night. You transfer them to you start moving them from one military barrack to another. For instance, when they were abducted, they were first taken to 6th Division at night.
Well, these are the things that has happened to our people, and up to today, so many of our youth are unaccounted for. Nobody knows their whereabouts today. These are the atrocities that the Nigerian state has been committing against our people. And after committing all these atrocities, they will still turn around to blame us, the victims. So these are the things that we must project to the world for people to understand. Not that we are projecting it that people will come to our rescue, because there is no one that is coming to help us. Rather, it is a collective effort, from you and I, all of us that is affected, all of us that this evil and the Fulani driven government has pushed you and I to the wall. So it is time for us to understand. So if you go through this report from this man, you will understand that a lot of atrocities has been committed against our people. The women were detained for months till today. Nobody has been held. Nobody has been prosecuted. Nothing. This is it continues to happen on a daily basis. Every day it continues to happen. But these so-called politicians in our land that claim to be representing our interest, they are not interested in the plight of the people. They are not interested towards the amelioration of the sufferings of these people. Rather, what they are only interested in is to use the people. They will give you 1,000 naira, 500 naira to go out and vote. The vote doesn't even count. They are using these people to present to the world as if to get legitimacy of the fraud, to continue to stamp the fraud that we call Nigeria against the will of our people. So these are the things that has happened, and nobody is saying anything about it. And this is 1 year after. That is why we are trying to revisit it to understand if there is anything that has happened. We will discover that nothing has happened and nothing will happen. A lot of things has happened that way in the past, and nobody is held responsible. So these are what we are saying here on today's edition. We want to look at the things said by our HOD during the broadcast. These are the extracts. Number 1, he said that IPOB continental reps should schedule dates of ESN fundraising per continent and forward it to HOD office for approval. Because this ESN, Eastern Security Network, which was set up by our leader, and defense of our land against these terrorists that are hiding inside our bushes. We all know ESN was formed in the past. The Fulanese were occupying our bushes, occupying our farmlands, preventing our mothers, our fathers from going to farms, from going to the streams, from going to the rivers to do their daily fishing and other farming activities. These Fulani terrorists, they have stationed in our bushes using their cattle as a weapon of war, because when they use these cattle, they use it to invade our farmlands. The cattle will eat up our farm produce. And when our people comes to challenge them or to tell them to leave our farm produce alone, they will massacre them because they have AK-47. These herders, these terrorists using cattle, pretending to be herders, are sponsored by the state, because the state has never prosecuted any of them, because the state feign ignorance, whereas they have already admitted that they sometimes pay these terrorists to stop killing. So because of that, that is what our HOD is referring to, so that everything we are doing will be organized to raise funds for this security outfit to continue to defend our communities, to continue to defend, protect it from these terrorists. We need funds to do this. And for us to do this, we channel our funding through the appropriate way, not just waking up and say you are raising funds for IPOB. No. If you want to raise funds for IPOB, you follow the lay down rules by the structure in place. So that is what our HOD is saying. So we must be ready to start from all the continents where we have our presence, where we have our family, our families all over the world, to make it go viral for everybody to understand. And he also said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be unconditionally released with immediate effect. Failing to release him from tonight till 4th of November 2021, there shall be indefinite lockdown of all the Biafra land until the adjourned date, 10th of November 2021, except on Sundays. This is a very good move, because our leader has never committed any crime. Our leader is seeking for self-determination, Self-determination is a guaranteed right. Self-determination is a protected political question, which the Nigerian state should not persecute someone for asking for something that is guaranteed under the law. So our HOD has issued this statement, and this is the stand of the indigenous people of Biafra. We can never tolerate our leader being held in custody. Someone who has never committed any crime, someone who have been peaceful, he has never committed any crime. If you say he has committed any crime, you present the evidence. So this is our stand. If the Nigerian state and the politicians, if they have connived, thinking that the mere presentation of our leader in court will be enough for us to go back and sit down and allow them to go and conduct their shenanigans, the correlation, they are lying. They are lying. Unless our leader is freed, unconditionally, there will never be peace anywhere in Nigeria. Go and mark it. The economy will continue to nosedive. So the Nigerian state should, as a matter of fact, as a matter of urgency, release our leader unconditionally. And if there is any case, they should forward it and bring evidence. That is number 2 takeaway. Number 3 said, religious leaders, traditional leaders, elders, market leaders must compulsorily send a representative delegates to Abuja High Court on 10th of November in solidarity to our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Failing to adhere to this order shall be presumed as the enemy of the people. That is what it is. Because if you are a traditional ruler in our land, you are ruling the people. If you are a community leader, the interests of the people must be your number 1 priority. And the people have decided that their leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is championing the quest for self-determination, which is the aspiration of our people. We are not wanted in Nigeria. Our lives are not protected in Nigeria. Our properties are not protected in Nigeria. Nigeria do not want us. And we ourselves, we do not want to be Nigerians because we have never been Nigerians before. We have been Biafrans thousands of years before the white men came and created Nigeria. Therefore, we must adhere to the instructions of the leadership of IPOB as has been broadcasted on Radio Biafra by the head of the Directorate of States of IPOB. So religious leaders, elders, community leaders, you must listen to the cry of the people and lend your support. Stop mingling with the politicians. Stop bringing the politicians into your churches to come and they pray, to come and they campaign for elections. The people of Biafra are not going to tolerate all these things anymore. Now is the time for action. We need a practical action for us to be free. If you are not with the people, we consider you as our enemy. That is what it is. If you fail to adhere to this order, we know that you are with the enemy, and we shall treat you as one of the enemies. So, and the number 4, he said, the impostor in Aso Rock masquerading as the late President Muhammadu Buhari is henceforth banned from visiting any part of Biafra land and shall be treated as unwelcome if he dares visit any day. Yes, we say that he shouldn't be visiting our land. He should remain where he is. Our land is a sacred land. We don't want him there. Since they don't want us, we don't want them. So that is what our HOD have said. And number 5, he said, all Nigeria likes events in Biafra land shall henceforth require permission from the indigenous people before commencement or first action. The land, the people, the owners of the land has taken back their land. Sovereignty belongs to the people. So if you want to do anything on the land, you must consult the people. You must consult the owners of the land. The land belongs to the indigenous people of Biafra. So if you want to conduct any Nigerian event in Biafra land, you must take instruction and take permission from the owners of the land. That is the state of things now. Because the people of Biafra, we have been subjected to all this ill treatment for a very long time. And we have continued to play second fiddle. And today, the game has changed. The narrative has changed. We are not going to tolerate it anymore. We are ready to give in our lives to see that Biafra is restored. We are no more living anymore. We are already dead men, because he whose freedom is taken away from him is already a dead man. So we are no more alive. We are going to take back our land. We are going to restore Biafra to its sovereignty as it were before Nigeria was created. That is the message we are sending to them. No matter whoever you are, you must take permission from the owners of the land before you conduct any event that is related to Nigeria. And he said that Biafra land is no more Nigeria henceforth. Biafra is not part of Nigeria. We are not Nigerians. The people that are there, they are occupying our land, and we are going to chase them away to wherever they come from, because it is our land. We have right over our land, and we are not going to allow any Fulani to occupy our land under any guise. We are not. Any attempt of secret trial of our leader MAZI Nnamdi Kanu shall be resisted. If they like, they will continue to disallow lawyers from participating at the shenanigans, the court proceedings. But we are waiting for them. We know that we are not going to get justice in that court. We know that the Nigerian state does not obey their own law. We know that there is no rule of law. They do not obey the rule of law in Nigeria. We are not going there with the hope of getting anything out of it. Rather, we are just going to put things on record. Let it be established that the Nigerian court have done this, or Nigerian court have not done that. So that is the message. So we must look at this article, that is terrorism charges. You can't try me in Nigeria, says our leader MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, has asked Federal High Court to recuse itself from the case of terrorism and treasonable felony preferred against him on the grounds that the court lacks jurisdiction to try his case, which is true. The government had amended earlier charges brought before the court, presenting a 7-count charge against him. Kanu insisted that the trial ought not to take place at all, since most of the crimes were committed in the United Kingdom, where the court has no jurisdiction over him, since according to him, the UK has its judicial system. This was stated in his notice of preliminary objections filed by his lawyers. The following are excerpts from the preliminary objections his lawyers filed. That I know as a fact that the United Kingdom, of which London is the capital, is sovereign state under international municipal law and has municipal laws punishing criminal offenses. That I also know as a fact that jurisdiction is extrinsic to adjudication. It is conferred on courts. It is not intrinsic. Number 3, that I know that as the elements necessary to constitute incitement in the alleged several broadcasts of the defendant or applicant occurred in London, United Kingdom, and not in Nigeria. The court in Nigeria has no jurisdiction to try the defendant or applicant on any charge founded on any such alleged incitement, even if the defendant or applicant enters within the geographical boundaries of Nigeria. Number 4, that I also know as a matter of fact that the alleged offenses for which the defendant was charged do not constitute terrorism offenses in London, United Kingdom, where they were allegedly committed. Number 5, that I am further aware that there is an obligation on the Attorney General of the Federation to maintain international cooperation for compliance with international treaties on terrorism. Number 6, that the defendant was abducted from Kenya and consequently extraordinarily rendition to Nigeria without firstly subjecting him to extradition proceedings in Kenya. I know as a fact that this is a violation of all known international conventions and treaties on extradition. Number 7, that prosecuting the defendant on the 7-count amended charge would amount to allowing the complainants to benefit from their illegality and wrongdoing. Number 8, that I am aware that he who comes to equity must come with clean hands, and no party should be allowed to benefit from his wrongdoing. Number 9, that I know as a matter of fact that the extraordinary rendition of the defendant robs the Honorable Court of the requisite jurisdiction of trying the defendant on counts 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the amended charge. Number 10, that counts 1, 2, and 3 of the amended charge were brought under a non-existent law. 11, that count 3 of the amended charge relates to an offense allegedly committed in Ubulisuzo in Ihiala local government area of Anambra State, which is outside the territorial jurisdiction of the Honorable Court. 12, that I know as a matter of fact that an offense can only be tried by a court exercising jurisdiction over the place or area where the alleged offense was committed. Number 13, that counts 5, 6, and 7 of the amended charge do not disclose an offense known to law. Number 14, that there is no proof of evidence attached to the amended charge filed against the defendant. 15, that even the purported proof of evidence to be relied upon by the prosecution does not disclose any prima facie case against the defendant. 16, that from the list of exhibits and witnesses attached to the amended charge, there is nothing relating to or linking the defendant to the 7-count charge, particularly count 4, 5, 6, and 7 thereof. 17, that no final pronouncement has been made on the purported proscription of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, as the said purported proscription is a subject matter of appeal in court of appeal number CAA/214/2018, pending before the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal. 18, that the defendant or applicant cannot be arraigned anew or tried for an offense when the judgment that made a pronouncement on the instrument constituting a state of affairs as such an offense is the subject matter of an appeal. Number 19, that it will be most unjust, painful, wicked, and unfair for the applicant to undergo the rigors of a full trial when the amended charge as constituted does not disclose a prima facie case against him. 20, that there is no ground for this honorable court to proceed with the trial against the applicant in the circumstance of this case. 21, that the court has the powers and a duty to stop a prosecution which on the facts creates abuse and injustice. 22, that it will be in the best interest of justice if the present 7-count amended charge is struck out and or dismissed. Can't therefore ask the court whether it has the requisite jurisdiction to try the defendant on the 7-count amended charge, given the extraordinary rendition of the said defendant or applicant. B, whether the Honorable Court has the jurisdiction to try the defendant or applicant for alleged acts constituted wholly by elements that occurred within the geographical space of a foreign sovereign nation and outside the jurisdiction of the court. C, whether the defendant applicant can be prosecuted for allegedly belonging to a proscribed organization when the purported proscription of the organization is the subject of appeal in appeal number CA/A/214/2018, pending at the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division. D, whether the information as laid under count 1, 2, and 3 of the amended charge is not founded under a non-existent law. E, whether the radio broadcast allegedly made by the defendant or applicant constitutes an offense of treasonable felony as envisaged under Section 41C of the Criminal Code Act, Cap C, 38, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. F, whether the information contained in count 5, 6, and 7 of the amended discloses the commission of any offense known to law. G, whether the proof of evidence in support of the 7-count amended charge discloses a prima facie case against the defendant or applicant. We respectfully urge your lordship to decline jurisdiction to entertain the instant amended charge, as the alleged offenses contained therein were allegedly committed wholly in London, United Kingdom, and Anambra states, outside the territorial jurisdiction of this honorable court, he argued through his lawyers. The honorable court is further urged to strike out and or dismiss the counts of the charge which are incompetent and brought under unknown provisions of the law. We further urge this honorable court to hold that the purported proof of evidence to be relied upon by the prosecution did not disclose any prima facie case against the defendant that will invoke the power of this court to set down the case for trial. The 7-count amended charge filed by the prosecution, we respectfully submit, is not only as naked and empty as a worthless paper, but not founded on existing laws, and the court is respectfully urged to, upon a meritorious consideration of the grounds upon which the objection is predicated, an argument in support thereof, to dismiss in its entirety this 7-count amended charge, and accordingly discharge and acquit the defendant or applicant on those 7-count charges. The trial judge, Honorable Justice Binta Nyako, adjourned the case to November the 10th. So, we have seen and we have read and we have heard the atrocities committed against our people in OBIGBO a year ago. We have also heard what I have read concerning the trial of our leader, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, and we have seen the submission of the legal team of our leader, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Therefore, it is very wise for all of us to galvanize our efforts to see that all of us are free from this quagmire called Nigeria. It is because of Nigeria that we are suffering. It is because of Nigeria that we are seeing what we are seeing happening to us. Because Nigeria was not created to benefit the indigenous population, because Nigeria was formerly the British company. Nigeria, the name of Nigeria was originally the Royal Niger Company. So, From Royal Niger Company, it was transformed into Nigeria, and the amalgamation took place in 1914. And since then, our people have been used. The blood of our people have been used to soil the foundation of Nigeria, and the blood of our people is still being used till tomorrow. So that is the reason why we are against every electioneering coming up again in our land, because what we are seeking for now is to be free. We are not seeking for election. We are not asking for Igbo presidency. Therefore, we use this opportunity to advise all these politicians. If they know what is good for them, they have the opportunity now to rescue themselves, to recuse themselves of the atrocities that they have committed in the past against the people, because the people have woken up now, and the people are no more going to tolerate all the shenanigans they have tolerated in the past. Look at how Aba is left in ruin. Look at how all the land of Biafra lack development because some people want it to be so. So we are not going to back down. We are not going to shift our ground. Our objective remains the same. Our ambition remains the same. Our focus remains the same, which is Biafra freedom. And we are going to achieve this through a peaceful means. That is the reason why IPOB, in the indigenous people of Biafra, as a movement for the restoration of Biafra, we have continued to be peaceful. We have continued to carry out our activities in all over the countries of the world, more than 100 countries of the world, where we are existing. We are known as a peaceful people. We are known as a people with resourcefulness. We are known as a people that involves in community building. These are the things that we want to translate into practical things in our land. We want to have a new lease of life, because we are already lucky. Our generation is a lucky generation. And if we fail to restore our freedom with the things, with the logistics that is available to us today, posterity will judge us badly, because we have everything to free ourselves without shooting a gun, because information is the key. The level of information that is available to our generation now was not so during the time of our fathers. Therefore, we should not fail. Therefore, we should not let this opportunity to slip away from us. Now that we have been blessed with a great leader, a man who will never compromise, a man who will stand with his life to see that your interest is protected, why can't we gravitate towards him? Why can't we do what he asks us to do for us to be free? Are we happy the way we are suffering back home? Are we happy seeing our mothers suffering in our land? So these are the message we have today. I do not have much time to play to finish the video I was playing. Maybe some other time we can look at it again. But what the message I'm passing to us today is that we should not always forget the atrocities that is being committed against our people that were killed in OBIGBO. We should not forget them, because nobody has been brought to book. Even our women that were abducted and taken to unknown destination for many months, tortured, raped, and subjected to inhuman and degrading treatment. Nobody remembers them. So it is 1 year on. I want us to reflect and remember that what happens to our people may one day happen to us if we fail to do the right thing at this point in time. So this is my message to all of us today. If you are not contributing anything toward the restoration of Biafra, change your mindsets today. Change your mindsets today. Change your mindset today and do your part to see that you liberate your people, because what we are fighting for is not entirely for our own benefit now. Rather, we are fighting so that those that will come after us will not pass through what we have passed through today. So this is the message. We are not fools to be part of this movement, to see that our people are freed, to see that our people taste goodness. The level of suffering in our land makes me shed tears. When I see our people suffering, some people, you talk to people, they do not have food on their table. Why? Because the country is in ruins. There is no factory. They cannot industrialize the country for 60 years. You do not have uninterrupted electricity generation. You cannot power any economy with generators. These are not rocket science. To build a society is not rocket science. To build a society does not matter where your president comes from or where your leader comes from. What makes a society to develop is effective laws and its implementation to the letter. But in Nigeria, you have a different law for the South. You have a different law for the North. How do you expect to have development? A country where a leader will borrow money instead of the leader to use the money to develop his people, they will use the money to go and build railway in Niger Republic. They have the Nigerian policy to bring in the Fulanis from all over Africa to come and occupy the land of indigenous people. This is the official policy of a government. So when we see all these things, we agitate to be free. That is the reason why we are agitating. That is the reason why we want to use the international law for self-determination to be free. We have never killed anybody, and we are not advocating to kill anybody. Rather, we are advocating to be free. We want to be left alone. We want to control our destiny. We want to prepare the ground for our future generation. In as much as you are in Nigeria of today, you cannot point out one thing that you have benefited because you are a Nigerian. Unless if you live a corrupt life, you are eating from this corrupt system. So these are what we must understand. Thank you so much for joining me from Radio Biafra Asia Desk, that is IPOB Family in Asia. Thank you and have a wonderful weekend as we continue to look at the development of things happening in our land. Thank you and remain blessed.